you think you could tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to train your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Did you exchange
It was uncanny how he could do that with people he'd just met. Of course, all fair game for his keen observations and quick sense of humor. He would pick up on our personality traits that I'd never paid attention to, and we were the butt of a lot of his jokes. Whenever we took pictures together, we were the ones with huge smiles on our faces because Sawyer was always cracking jokes and was not above joking around about himself for a good laugh. Our videos are full of Sawyer fooling around doing crazy things. His humor was at another level than mine and anyone's we'd met. I wish we had more time today to share the videos with you. We are always going to miss his way of looking at things with Sawyer's quick wit and his out-of-the-box thinking. That's a great way to put it, Mom. In February of 2015, Rochelle Schwartz sent a video of his hockey team doing a dance-off against the U16 club volleyball team to cheer Sawyer up. And I suggested he make a video to announce the winner. Sawyer just went with it. Nothing was too rehearsed. He just had us laughing, and he was having a great time. We had so much fun watching this improv, and we're going to watch that in just a few minutes after the eulogies. Sawyer was always grateful, in the moment, happy, and genuine. I read something the other day that said, when you are grateful, there is no room for anything else. No anger, no fear, no jealousy, no hatred. I remember Sawyer discovering that when he was first diagnosed, his world was turned upside down and he was scared. One day he said to me, "Mom, I was feeling sorry for myself and I thought my situation was bad, but I saw someone else and they look like they have it worse than I do." Always people can have it worse than me. I think he never forgot about that, and he just kept doing his best and was grateful for every day. That's a great sentiment. Once Sawyer tried something he didn't expect things to come easy and wasn't afraid to fail. People who know me know how incredibly proud I am of Sawyer. Even people who have never met Sawyer know. Ever since he was little, he was always happy and content. When he was learning to skate, I would watch him fall down over and over. I thought, oh no, poor Sawyer. He's got to be frustrated, and I'm sure he'll get mad or cry soon. But Sawyer just kept getting up again and again. It was amazing to watch him. He just kept getting up and continued to do so in everything he did after that. Sawyer seemed to never be afraid to try or to make mistakes. He liked the process of learning and adjusting, and he kept trying until he got it. I hope he shared some of that with the rest of us. I put Sawyer in school at the hospital, and the teacher said he was the best student she had ever had. She said no matter what Sawyer was going through, he was never grumpy or had a bad attitude. He was so positive, she called him Steady Eddie. Sawyer had many interests and passions. Whenever he showed interest in something, Rob and I were going to help him explore it. I started Sawyer in drum lessons in Vancouver right away to help him with what they called chemo brain. I remember Sawyer drumming on the back of Rob's seat as Rob drove us around town. Rob cursed me under his breath for putting Sawyer in drum lessons instead of guitar. But of course, I let Sawyer do it anyways. Sawyer continued lessons in Dawson Creek. He learned a bit of guitar and had a real ear for music. That is something Sawyer and his mamere, I hope I got that right, because I'm from Eastern Europe, not from over there. He could recall a song, sing it with all the words, the beat, the whole thing. I loved riding in his truck with him and hearing him sing. Once Sawyer and I drove all the way back from Van, and Sawyer stayed awake with me singing songs off his playlist to keep me, stayed awake with me singing songs off his playlist to keep me from falling asleep. That was such a special trip for us, and wow, what an amazing voice he had. Sawyer took an interest in cooking. He would watch cooking shows all the time and try new recipes, but he still loved the taste of Mamere's homemade vegetable soup. Do I say Mamee? Mamee. Sorry, Grandma, if I got that wrong. Mamee. Loved Mamee's homemade vegetable soup and her ginger snap cookies. Sawyer won a barbecue at a golf tourney and took it wherever he went. He brought it to family ski trips at Worsley. We were all hungry at different times, but when Emerson wanted a hot dog, Sawyer skied down to his truck and cooked up a hot dog and rode the chairlift with Emmy, happily eating his hot dog with Uncle Sawyer. Sawyer had so much love for Keela, John, and their boys. He taught Emerson to snowboard. He played Fortnite with Noah and played and fished with Jackson and Kyler at Mamay's and Papa's cabin. Oh, I hope I get it right. I have this video of Sawyer teaching t-ball to Noah and Emerson at the cabin. Sawyer would put the ball on the tee and get Noah all lined up to hit it, and in would come Emerson and smack the ball away. Sawyer didn't get mad, just laughed and put the ball back on the tee. Sawyer was so patient. Our family spent summers at Mamay and Papa's cabin, fishing with Papa, John, and Keela and the kids, kayaking, shooting guns, and making brunches. Sawyer loved playing card games with Mamay and Papa and getting lots of love and hugs from them and from Auntie Kim. This summer, Sawyer took us to a hot sauce store. Sawyer had a big interest in the different sauces and cooking wings at RMH. He was brave enough to try some of the hottest sauces in the store, but Rob and I weren't as brave. I have a video of Sawyer trying a hot one, and his eyes were watering pretty good. Last week we went back to the store, and Mamay suggested trying a hot one in Sawyer's honor. It was so hot I almost got sick, and Mamay couldn't leave the store. She sat right by the water cooler and practically hugged it. Oh, practically hugging it. This is a message from a friend, Jennifer. I'm sorry, Jennifer, I can't pronounce your last name. Carrie, my heart is broken for you and your family. I didn't really know Sawyer, but I will never forget what my son Jackson Appleby said about him. He's just the nicest guy, Mom. For all the stuff he's had to deal with, he's a genuinely nice guy. I was drunk at grad and he made me chicken. He's the best. It's such a simple story, and it stuck with me. Much love and light. Sawyer played soccer, baseball, hockey, and golf. Sawyer, Ben, and Quinn loved to play in the yard together. They were always doing something, either jumping on the trampoline, playing airsoft guns, soccer, baseball, basketball, and golf. Ben and Sawyer made a couple golf holes in the front yard. They used red Solo cups as the holes. They used foam balls and would hit them over the house and see who could get them in the hole with the least amount of shots. They built a couple of hot tubs out of Rubbermaid containers. That was a great one. Sawyer and Ben learned how to do backflips in the backyard. I recorded many of their attempts to nail it. Rewatching the videos now, I see two happy boys always laughing and encouraging each other. Sawyer and Ben loved playing mini sticks in the basement. They had some really good battles, but always were smiling. Lots of friends would come over and play mini sticks in the basement. Nolan, Brennan, Cy, Cephas, to name a few. Keela said it best that Sawyer loved to drive pretty much anything that had a motor. And here's some of Keela's memories of Sawyer. When I think about Sawyer, I think about how he was always smiling and cracking jokes no matter what life threw his way. Sawyer was caring and kind, but above all, he was strong and he never showed any fear. Even as a child, he was fearless and always testing the limits. This was something that scared me, as I was usually the one at the back of the quad, dirt bike, or whatever we were driving, but it especially scared our mom. I'm not sure how old he was when he finally got his first dirt bike, maybe around 8 years old. Keep in mind this was my old dirt bike, so of course it was in immaculate condition. Said only as a sister can say. But it looked brand new. Within the first few minutes of riding it, Sawyer had managed to figure out how to do a wheelie. But when he came to show us his new trick, of course he went overboard and ended up running behind the dirt bike while trying to hold on. The dirt bike took off without him not making it very far before smashing into the gravel, ripping the exhaust and other various parts off. This is something that would scare most people, but for Sawyer, it just made him get up, get back on, and try again. Sawyer saw this as a challenge. No matter what, he always got back up and tried again. He was determined to master whatever he put his mind to, and as Sawyer got older, his tricks only got scarier. Many of my fond memories when the kids were little was pulling them on a toboggan behind a sled. We had so much fun that year and the years after. The first year we were stuck in some deep snow with the sled, and Sawyer was behind pushing while Keela and I were up front with the throttle and pushing it. We didn't realize it was chewing and spitting snow. Sawyer was yelling at us to stop, and we finally stopped and looked. Sawyer had this huge pile of snow on his helmet and snow all over his face, and Keela and I couldn't stop laughing. He was so mad, and all we could do was laugh. When we moved to Dawson Creek, I missed sledding with Sawyer. We bought a few sleds for us in 2017. Sawyer, Ben, Rob, and I, and a few friends would spend any chance we got up on Bear Mountain sledding. Thankfully, there was a lot of snow for the first 2 years. Sawyer improved so fast that we thought we should venture out into the Tumbler area. Sawyer and I went to our first avalanche course on my birthday in 2019. Sawyer loved the course and completely absorbed it. As always, wanting to learn more, Sawyer took many more courses. Lately, Sawyer took an interest in mapping. He liked figuring out the topography of mountains and looking for the trails and meadows in the mountains that he went to. All Sawyer wanted to do was camp more, fish, explore, and be in nature. Sawyer spent a lot of time in his truck this summer sleeping on his way down to Vancouver and in Vancouver as well. Over the last few months, Sawyer stated how much he respected his pape. I believe Sawyer had a lot of qualities he admired in pape and Sawyer had in himself. Sawyer wanted to spend more time with him. Sawyer and pape had plans to customize Sawyer's truck bed and retrofit it. They also planned to go to the cabin and rough it for 2 weeks. One of pape's memories. I was finishing a project at the farm. Carrie sent Sawyer with refreshments. He was greatly concerned that I would go back home and forget him. So we decided that I would write his name on a piece of board and put it in my toolbox so I would be reminded of him. That pleased Sawyer. I kept that piece in my toolbox at home, and several times Sawyer was visiting, we had good laughs remembering that day. That's a great memory. Sawyer had love, patience, and grace with people. He was kind, never mean-spirited, and had a genuine interest in others. Sawyer met a lot of people and made quite an impression on them in such a short time. He met a chief playing golf a couple of summers ago, and he liked Sawyer so much, he asked for his contact info. He joked with Sawyer when Sawyer used his ball instead of his own on the first fairway, and he said to Sawyer, "First you take my land, now you take my ball." Rob knew since he joined our family we were about having fun. Rob and Sawyer developed a unique relationship over the years. They loved horsing around and playing games. Rob knew that I wanted to do everything possible to have a normal life, so Rob would always go above and beyond, organizing, planning, getting us anything we wanted, whether it was at home or in Vancouver. Whatever crazy idea or plan that Sawyer and I wanted to do, he was right there with us. Through the years, Rob took Sawyer and I to comedy clubs, Cirque du Soleil, baseball, hockey, and lacrosse games, and Niagara Falls. We took Sawyer to 12 different golf courses and had so much fun. With little practice, Sawyer was shooting his scores closer to my scores and Rob said if he worked on it, he could easily be in the 70s. As Rob remembers, this is Rob's words, my relationship with Sawyer is the same as with my kids. I will always support them in whatever they wanted to do. I would be there to cheer them on and help them be the best they could be. I think Sawyer knew he could trust me and knew that I would do almost anything that he needed me to do. If it was to order him something online or to hold a wrench or a light as he worked on his truck or his sled or drive him around to pick something up. Sawyer knew I had boundaries and rules and he knew not to break them or cross them, and he didn't very often. He trusted me and respected me, so our relationship was easy. I supported him. I was a fan of his and admired his strength and courage. He had a positive attitude and a sense of humor that was unmatched by anyone. He was a son and a friend. I'm happy you got to see our beautiful Sawyer. I'm truly grateful and want to thank you all for sharing your memories of Sawyer with us. I was praying for a miracle the whole time we were going through this, but I also knew that Sawyer was the miracle. Every day was a blessing with Sawyer. Every time I looked at his beautiful smiling face, heard his jokes and laughter, and watched him grow, it was such a blessing. Every minute I got to spend with Sawyer was a miracle, and I was so grateful for it. I'm so blessed to be Sawyer's mom. One day he told me he was happy I was his mom because I was the only one who truly got him. Of course, that made me so happy, and now I realize that he also got me as well. I've been told we are a lot alike and that he loved me so much. Sawyer was pure love, just genuine, sweet, sweet love. I made sure that Sawyer knew that wherever he goes from here, that love will go with him because he is pure love. Just as Sawyer lived, everywhere he went was love, and I know wherever he is now, there is love. I think this truly describes Sawyer. It's not what you gather, but what you scatter that tells what kind of life you lived. Thank you, Carrie. It was a joy to receive Wade's eulogy one evening this week. Started to paint a picture for me. So this is Wade's. Sawyer Wade Jeannotte lived a full life, and while he left us too soon, he left behind a lifetime of memories for us to celebrate. Sawyer had a zest for life and was genuinely interested in everything he did. When he was a little guy, he was always goofing around and making every effort to be the life of the party. Whether performing on stage like he did at Justin and Kira's wedding, or ensuring he was making a goofy face in every picture he could, Sawyer was always smiling and enjoying the moment. As a young boy, Sawyer loved being on the farm and could always be seen following me around and trying to be my little helper. Sawyer could also be seen following his sister Keela around, and most pictures of Sawyer as a little fella include Keela, either taking care of him or egging him on and assisting in his goofiness. He looked up to and loved his sister very much. As Sawyer grew up, he made friends at all the different schools he went to and on the hockey teams he played on. He enjoyed going to hockey tournaments and had many adventures with his teammates and friends. Sawyer made friends everywhere he went. He enjoyed all kinds of activities, including farming, snowboarding, snowmobiling, scootering, dirt biking, and golfing. As Sawyer got a bit older, his interests in mechanics stood out. Sawyer was always tinkering with equipment, and if it had a motor, he wanted to figure it out how it worked. Sawyer could often be heard saying, "Hey, Dad, what are you working on today? Hey, Dad, can we fix? Hey, Dad, let's do. Hey, Dad, can you help me with?" Sawyer and I were often on YouTube looking up how to fix things or learn how things worked. I will greatly miss that he is not here to do that with anymore. Sawyer had a special quality about him. He loved his family and enjoyed spending time with his nephews, niece, and siblings. Keela has many stories to tell about discovering her boys doing something that she didn't know they knew how to do. When asking the kids how they learned how to do whatever it was they were doing, they would often respond, "Uncle taught me." One memory I don't think we will ever forget is when Sawyer took Noah for a ride on the snowmobile and Noah pinned the throttle and almost threw Sawyer off the sled as they took off at Mach 1 speed across the field. Emma and Karen moved in with us when Sawyer was 11 years old, and looking back at the pictures, it's easy to see how quickly Emma and Sawyer became very close. They could always be seen snuggling on the couch, watching a movie, or out and about finding trouble together. While Braden, his stepbrother, was far away, Sawyer thought very highly of him and looked up to him. Sawyer would often say that we should consult with Braden when working on something that required an engineer or more math than either of us wanted to deal with. Sawyer was especially interested in snowmobiling safety, and he and I took multiple levels of avalanche training. He practiced what he preached. Sawyer made sure everyone had their safety equipment before heading out and would do snow pit tests to make sure the snow was safe before heading out. Everyone who went sledding with us will remember the safety meetings prior to heading out and hitting the snow. We would always check avalanche reports, and Sawyer was always so excited to head to the mountains. Any normal day, getting up before 8 a.m. was a challenge, but on snowmobiling days, he was first up at 5 a.m. or earlier and ready to go. Last year, Sawyer and I made 21 sledding trips, and I'm so grateful and thankful that we spent that time together. I have so many memories, pictures, and videos of our adventures that will remain with me. Sawyer could always make the best of challenging situations. His sense of humor was unique, and he could always make anyone laugh. He enjoyed telling stories of his adventures. farming, or snowmobiling, or whatever it may be to all who would listen. He loved showing pictures, telling stories to his nurse in Vancouver, Emily. She was special to him, and I think over the years of hearing the stories and being there for Sawyer, she probably feels like she is part of the family by now. Sawyer was incredibly kind and shared his big smile and good humor with everyone he met. Karen shared with me that one thing she will miss is Sawyer's sneak hug attacks when she is making supper. Sawyer would often sneak up and give her big hugs, usually when she was holding a knife or something. While it sometimes seemed kind of annoying at the time, now it's something that she will greatly miss. Sawyer had a unique ability to talk to people and truly be interested in what they were saying and listen to them. Sawyer made everyone feel like he was their friend, and as he continued through his treatments, he never complained, but rather took every moment he could when he was home and enjoyed all he could. He would come home from treatment, and within hours, sometimes he was outside checking out what was happening at the farm, or he was quadding or dirt biking. Sawyer said he loved it at the farm because it was calm and peaceful. His strength, determination, and love of life was admirable and demonstrated what it looks like to finish strong. It's a great observation, Dad. I know that Sawyer would not want us all to be sad. In fact, he told me on multiple occasions that he wasn't scared of not being here. He was worried that those left behind would be sad. I know he wouldn't want us to be grieving for long, and rather he would want us to remember the good times we had with him, and for us all to go on and enjoy each day just as he did. In Vancouver Hospital, towards the end, Sawyer's friend Brennan came to visit him, and Sawyer's comment to him was this: "What are you doing here, man? Go out and live your life." Let's honor Sawyer and do just that. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Those were fantastic. So, in lieu of an open mic, some of Sawyer's friends have recorded a few comments, a message. So we're going to take the time to watch that now.
Hey everyone, I hope you're doing as good as you can be. It's a pretty shitty situation for all of us, I'm sure. This is just a video that got put together by a few of our friends. We all sent in videos and Bryce edited it together, and it's just us sharing stories and memories and saying anything in regards to Sawyer. Sawyer is a special person to everybody that he met in his life. I think everyone has a special place in their heart for him. I know for myself, I have lots of memories with Sawyer because for some reason he was always able to persuade me into things that I wouldn't be doing otherwise. I don't know. He's just something about how he'd smile at me and give me that little nudge on the shoulder that would get me going. One story that I always get a kick out of is one time we were at the farm and we were quadding, playing around in the mud like we always did. You know, we were probably about 8 years old, and then after we come inside, we got sent to the shower to go clean off, so we did that. And after about 20 minutes, we were just goofing around in there, you know the deal, just making potions and, I don't know, using everybody's shampoo and seeing what smelled the best, what combination, whatnot. Anyways, after about 20 minutes, Sawyer seen a little pink razor on the shower, like, little ledge there, so I thought it was a good idea for us to shave ourselves. So first he shaves like a strip in his arms because he had pretty long arm hair when we were kids, and next thing he knows, that looked pretty silly, so I decided to shave all his arm and then the other one and then his legs. That was my turn because he told me to do it, so I thought it was a good idea. So anyways, we're shaving our bodies and it's getting more and more, and then I think everybody could hear us outside because Keela's knocking on the door telling us to hurry up and not to use our stuff, but Sawyer said it was good, so I just kept going. Anyways, we figured it was about time we'd shave our faces because, we were 8 years old, and yeah, we probably had pretty big mustaches at the time. But anyways, Sawyer's shaving his face, and he hands the razor to me, and I'm shaving my face, and then I just slit straight across my lip, and blood just starts pouring out my mouth. At the same time, Wade's knocking on the door trying to kick us out because we've been in there for too long, but we were in a panic, so we jump out, and Sawyer is like, okay, I'm gonna distract him. You run to the bedroom. He'll be fine. He'll be gone in the morning. Blah, blah, blah. So that was the game plan. He's gonna go out there and make some kind of story why we were taking so long. And then he was pretty quick, but it wasn't that quick because when we opened the door, everybody's standing there, and they could just see the blood rolling off my lip into my mouth. And I don't know, I always get a kick out of that story because he just told them that the cat did it, but there is no cat in there. And yeah, I think that's still the reason to this day that I can't grow a mustache, but I love it anyways.
So I got a lot of good stories I could tell about Sawyer. All the trouble that he got us into, because obviously everyone knew he was always a bad one, all of us too, but I think my favorite memories being him, like 13, 14, there's this van at his farm, and someone gave us a great idea that we should get it running, to use it, bomb it around, and me and him, we went and grabbed it and got it running somehow. We limped it over to his shop, and we spent like the whole day cleaning out all the stuff in it. It was like 10 garbage bags, and got it all tuned up and running good. So the next day, me and him, we were pretty excited. We jumped in it. We topped it up with fuel. We didn't think to check any of the other gauges, so we were bombing around for probably like maybe 5-10 minutes, and out of nowhere it just starts smoking. The whole cab fills up with it, and it smells like it's on fire. So we went and took it back to his dad, and we're just like, what's wrong with it? And he's just shaking his head. He goes and points at the coolant gauge, and he's like, and it's just right at empty, and he's like, how'd you guys miss that? So I just looked at him. He's like, well, it's because I was too busy looking at the empty fuel gauge to notice. Yeah, that's just one of the memories I got with you, bud, that I'll never forget.
We just wanted to come on here and share one of our favorite memories that we have with Sawyer. It was a couple summers ago when a bunch of us decided to go down to the Blackfoot River.
We all piled up in the Ford Ranger, and we blared Africa by Toto on the way down to the river. That was our favorite song that summer, and none of us knew the lyrics. We knew the chorus, and that was it. And Sawyer and Ben would be in the front seat, just like Spotlight was there singing it, and then the verse would come on, and we'd all just mumble. Like no one knew the actual words. So then we get down to the river, and we didn't want to walk all the way down because it was a long walk and it was hot out. So we convinced Sawyer to drive his Ranger down to like the shore.
Yeah, and what we didn't know is that it's pretty muddy that day, but we didn't think much of it. We parked his truck, played some music, just had a good old time goofing around and whatnot. But then we decided it was time to pack up the bikes and head home.
And then we all jump in the truck, and the truck's not moving. And we're like, oh, it's stuck. And then, so everyone gets out, starts pushing, and like the truck will not budge, like whatsoever. It's stuck.
So we unloaded the bikes. Ben took off home to come to rescue us, but he was gone for a while because I remember that me and Eek and Sawyer and there was a couple others were stuck at the bottom. No service, and there was a lot of snakes there, and it was actually kind of scary.
Yeah, and everyone was throwing the snakes at us. Sawyer and them thought it was so funny. And anyways, Ben comes back with the pickup truck, but he didn't bring tow ropes. So we have a singular ratchet strap. So we're like, you know what? We're just gonna really quickly get the truck out. So we like hook the ratchet straps up, and it breaks. Like the first pull, it breaks and it goes straight through Sawyer's grill and breaks the rad. And you can just see all the coolant leak out everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't too well, but Sawyer kind of just stood there like, oh, he didn't get mad or anything, but eventually we got his truck out and towed it home, and we were playing That Old Truck by Thomas Rhett on the way home.
Sawyer was just like staring out the back window at his truck that's in neutral, just like smoking everywhere. Like Oh my God. It was so funny.
It was
The
definitely
ranger made it to live another day. He kept driving that truck. Everything worked out good.
even though it wasn't too good of a day, I still had fun, and I wouldn't trade that memory for anything now.
I have so many memories of me and Sawyer, from going to the skate park in elementary school to sleeping in a car out in a field just for fun, to going to the mountains every other weekend, just having a good time, enjoying life, making YouTube videos, shredding. But this one memory really comes to mind, and it was out at his farm. We were sleeping in his little playhouse he has there, and maybe it was a little later in the night, and we hear scratching on the siding of the treehouse, and we're over and over, ruffling in the trees, and, just spooky noises, and knew something was up. So we went on the roof and started calling to Wade, who was in the kitchen. I think he was at the sink talking through the window to us, and probably had a standoff with him for 5-10 minutes, and he had us convinced there was nothing there, and I think we thought it was a bear. And after a while goes by, we both end up jumping. I jumped first, and as soon as I hit the ground, someone comes up from behind me and jumps on me, and I didn't really know what it was at the time, so I was terrified. Sawyer, I don't even remember him hitting the ground. He was in that house so fast, it was blew me away. Just was gone. And it ended up being Emma trying to scare us, and Wade was in on it, and they had us convinced there was a bear trying to get at us, and it was so scary. I'll never forget that time. That was funny.
Sawyer was a great friend to me. No matter what we did, there was never a dull moment. Our quad trips were the best and full of fun, and I'll always remember them.
Gonna miss you, Sawyer. I'll never forget all of our crazy sledding adventures and the crazy stuff that you would bring us into. And the crazy stories that you would tell is just like no other, and the ideas to build stuff and where to go, and it's just, your adventures were crazy.
One of my favorite memories with Sawyer is we were bouncing on the trampoline with my sister, and there was a bunch of balls, soccer balls, baseballs, footballs, soccer balls on the trampoline, and she went to grab one, and he kicked it, and it hit her in the face. And we went inside or whatever, and we were going to do the dishes, and she tasered me. And I grabbed the towel off the counter and went to towel whip her, and I hit her in the face. And right after that, he made a song, and it went something like this. She went to grab the balls with grace, till he kicked it in her face. She had her hands around his waist, till he towel whipped her in the face. That's got to be one of my favorite memories.
I don't think that there are any words to describe how special of a person Sawyer really was. One thing that I'll always admire about Sawyer was how happy he always was, even though he was fighting one of the hardest battles ever. I'm really grateful for every memory I have with Sawyer and our shots of Fireball, starting from my grad when we were so nervous to walk down the red carpet together, to the fall fair this year where we couldn't even walk back to the trailers. One thing that I'll always remember about Sawyer is how much he loved his truck. I still remember the first day he got his subs. I was sitting in my living room when all of a sudden I heard this really loud pumping noise coming from outside. I look out the window and there Sawyer was sitting in his little black truck playing some music. Then he comes on into the house with that big smile he always has, so excited to show everyone his new sub. Thank you, Sawyer, for teaching everyone to make good in every situation. I love you. Until we meet again, this one's for you.
Sawyer was one of my best friends. I always had a great time with him. I was glad to be his friend. I'd call him my brother, honestly. He was the best. He was always smiling, so positive and cheerful. It was amazing to be around him. I got so many good memories with him. I've known him since day one, basically. But one of my favorite memories will be probably the last time I seen him, and that was in Vancouver. Me and him went for dinner at Kitsilano Beach. I'll always remember that day and that restaurant. It was so good. He loved it. He was smiling. He had a couple beers. He was really loving it. But I'll never forget my memories with him, and will cherish them for life.
Sawyer, I am so thankful for the time we got to spend together growing up. I'll never forget the memories we made together playing hockey, making funny YouTube videos, and spending countless hours on your farm. Above all, I'm so grateful that we got to spend the last year and a half talking to each other every day. You were a warrior, Sawyer, and I could truly say that you were one of my best friends.
Sawyer was truly a light to be around. I will forever remember watching him sing and dance and crack jokes to make me and everyone else around him laugh. He was adventurous like no other. You could always find him outdoors doing something like sledding, snowboarding, side-by-siding, or quadding, and he always found new ways to scare me on all of them. The qualities I particularly admire about Sawyer were how positive, optimistic, and strong he was. He always focused on the bright side and found things that brought him joy. Throughout the years I spent with him, Sawyer was exceptionally caring, kind, and helpful. He always took the opportunity to teach someone something new and make them the best versions of themselves. One of my fondest memories with Sawyer is the times that we spent on the farm. I would ride on the combine with him for hours, and I would never get bored because he's truly such great company. I'm so grateful I got the chance to know and love Sawyer. He will forever be in my heart.
Sawyer has always done so much for everyone around him, and I'm sure anyone that had met him would agree with that. There's so many stories to be shared about the amazing life that Sawyer has lived and all the people he's impacted along the way. Some of my favorite stories with him would be going out to his farm and playing tag in the grain pile when we knew we weren't allowed, or catching frogs, or feeling unsafe on the back of the quad with Sawyer driving like Sawyer always has. Along with all the memories we've shared with baseball and hockey along the way. Hockey was what brought us together at such a young age. I consider myself privileged to have played on the same hockey team as Sawyer, and the light he shone his whole life carried with him, especially in the dressing room. When he played hockey, he was 21. Now that's the number I wear because of him, and every time I step on the ice, I'll always wear 21 with great pride.
I had a lot of good memories with Sawyer, and one of the memories I do share with him is always driving around on that Ford Ranger, always blasting Motley Crue. I mean, you could hear that truck from a mile away, whether it was his exhaust or his subwoofer in the back just pounding. He always loved to race too. Everything was always a competition, whether that was racing other people in his truck or in the side-by-side. He always felt the need for speed. One of the things we did end up doing together in the summer of 2019 was we had this bright idea to go out to Swan Lake and go fishing out at my cabin, and got the little Tim boat out and threw the motor on the back and threw all the fishing gear in. And mind you, at the time, we never even had fishing licenses. And we're putting out there, and we're like, oh, like, I'm gonna get the biggest fish. And he's like, no, like, I am. So we're fishing them. We got like this little guy, and then Sawyer reels one in, and then he gets just an even little bigger one. And then we probably stayed on the lake till about 8 o'clock at night, and then Sawyer gets this massive fish, and he grabs his fish bunker, and he's going to whack it, and is jumping all over the place, and me and him are just pissing ourselves laughing, and we don't fish that much, and we took this dead fish, and we've never filleted a fish in our life, and we butchered this thing. And as I could, the taste of that thing, it was mid-July when we ate it. That was our dinner. Sawyer he lived life to the fullest, and he didn't let anything stop him, whether that was
sledding, side-by-siding, building his truck up. He really did enjoy life. He definitely, I would say, cheered a lot of people up with his laughter, his smile. His smile was unbeatable. That alone was enough to make you happy. And I think I can speak for a lot of people is that he was glad of what he got to do, what he got to accomplish. And I think a lot of people are glad they got to know Sawyer and be friends with Sawyer, because he was really someone that touched everyone. So, yeah, those are some of the memories that I shared with him.
Sawyer, if you're watching this, I want to first start off by saying thank you. Thank you so much for the friendship that we shared, the memories that we made, and the laughs that we made along the way. Those will forever follow me throughout my life. You taught me that no matter what the circumstances are, the good can always be seen, and no matter what. I want to say thank you to Wade and Carrie for raising such a polite young man. I know he was one of my best friends, and that of many others. He always had a way of making friends with no matter who it was. He always had a charm. Thank you. I love you, Sawyer.
I love you, Sawyer. Thank you for being my best friend throughout all these years. You taught me so much, and I'll never forget you.
I just want to say goodbye, Sawyer. I love you, and I miss you, buddy.
Rest easy, Sawyer.
We love you.
I'm gonna miss you, Sawyer. I love you.
Love you, buddy.
I love you, Sawyer. We'll miss you.
Love you, Sawyer. I love you, Sawyer.
I love you, Sawyer. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. It was great knowing you. You were an amazing friend.
I love you, Sawyer.
I love you, Sawyer.
Love you, Sawyer.
You've brought me some of my best memories. I love you, Sawyer. Until we meet again.
Nice work, friends. Well done. I hope you look around and see there's not very many dry eyes in here right now. That was so well done. Well, we have one more clip that we're going to watch, and it's what was mentioned in the eulogy. When Sawyer's friends, the two teams, had a dance-off, and Sawyer's job was to pick the winner. And this is a clip that was shot with Sawyer trying to announce the winner, and he's just very, very funny in it. It really speaks to his personality, and so I hope you enjoy this.
Hi everyone, thanks for your hard work and best wishes, and the winner is the girls.
Just watch. Come on!
Hello everybody, thank you for the hard work out there. And the winner is wait, what were we doing again? How did it go?
Drum roll.
Hallelujah. Oh, girl said.
Okay, I'm recording.
Redo it. No. Hello everyone. I declared a winner, and it is the girls. Don't and cut. Hello everyone, and thanks for your hard work and the best wishes. I've declared a winner, and the winner is the girls, and I'm sorry, boys. Seriously! Everyone, thanks for your hard work and best wishes. Hard work. Yeah, and I declared a winner, and sorry boys, but didn't try hard enough. So it's the girl. Yeah, I didn't hear the ding. Everyone, thanks for your hard work and kidding. You're way too close to my man. Yeah, all girls had hallelujah. Are you kidding me?
Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. 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 And you. And you. And you. And you. And you. You're on. Hello everyone, my name is Sawyer. I will be announcing the winner tonight. The winner is girls.
Cut! Hey everyone, thanks for the hard work and best wishes. Hello everyone, thanks for the hard work and best wishes. I can't say wishes properly. Everyone, thanks for the hard work and best wishes. Hello everyone, thanks for the hard work and best wishes. And I've declared a winner, and it is the girls. The winner is the girls.
Let's get it.
Stop!
Well, in many ways, Sawyer's family consistently shared one thing about him, and it told me something very interesting about Sawyer. They made it clear that Sawyer didn't want cancer to define him. He was strong and brave and lived in the moment. That statement spoke to Sawyer's character, and I thought to myself, if I had been in Sawyer's position at that age, would I have lived my life to the fullest? Would I have kept on smiling, doing the things that I love to do? Or would I have hidden in my bedroom and bemoaned the hand that had been dealt to me? Would I have lived in pity, or like Sawyer, would I have gotten on with my life? Think of it this way. Sawyer loved to drive, whether it be a snowmobile, a quad, a dirt bike, we've heard all about it, the tractor, even his own pickup. Now there's something that happens to all drivers at one time or another, and it's called target fixation. If you've ever watched Canada's Worst Driver, you will hear the driving experts tell the participants that when they face an unexpected obstacle, if they stare at it, if they target fixate, they'll drive right into it. But if they look past it to where they need to go, they can usually avoid it. Host Andrew always says, where you're looking is the direction you're going to go. That simple but profound principle explains the smile on that young man's face. It's my opinion that he did not fix his eyes on what cancer was going to keep him from doing, but he took every opportunity to do what he loved. He rode his sled, he fished, he golfed, he mechanicked, and he farmed with Wade. He shared his love of food with others, whether by cooking for people or sharing videos about what he was eating. Abraham Lincoln is credited with saying, "In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years." And wow, did Sawyer have a lot of life in his years. So now we're going to enjoy the PowerPoint.
Dear life, I hope you know I've loved you every mile down this road. Had my share of hits and misses, trying to keep between the ditches. Dear life, I hope you know. Dear life, what's your plan? Is where I'm supposed to be, right where I am. If it is, then I ain't leaving. If it ain't, I'll keep on dreaming. Dear life, what's your plan? Now you're flying back too fast, I'm about to make you last. Begging, won't you please just slow down? You're scaring me to death, I'm trying to catch my breath. Don't wanna let you go, I'm hanging on for dear life. Oh, dear, hanging on for dear life. Oh, dear life. Dear life, how's it look when you read the next few pages of my book? Am I with the ones I love down here up above? Dear life, how's it look? Now you're flying by too fast, I fight to make you last. Begging, won't you please just slow down? You're scaring me to death, I'm trying to catch my breath. Don't wanna let you go, I'm hanging on for dear life. Oh, dear, hanging on for dear life. Oh, dear life. I wanna leave my mark, love till it breaks my heart. Live so loud that my forever echoes in the dark. I wanna leave my mark, love till it breaks my heart. Live so loud that my forever echoes in the dark. You're flying by too fast, I'll fight to make you last. Begging, won't you please just slow down? You're scaring me to death, I'm trying to catch my breath. Don't wanna let you go, to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain. When I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Hey. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. And I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah, yeah. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Oh, cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's
something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger. What's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Well, I think we made it. First stop. Looks pretty sweet.
Give you a second. I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times and bright and summer days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun of happy memories that I leave when life is done. And that's exactly what Sawyer has done. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for Sawyer?